And a 3, and a 2, and a 1. How's it going, everybody? This is your homie, your dude, Justin Taylor, Xbox gamertag JT for real though. How's it going, my friends? How's it going? I apologize if the stuff in the background is a little funky or a little too crazy. It's just something I'm fooling around with, trying to test some stuff out right now, seeing how it works out. And I wanted to do a video for some of my homies. I had a request from one of my mods to make this video, or actually to talk. Actually, no, I guess it was to do a video, but basically to talk to them and make sure a lot of the general, like, normal stuff, like what was asked specifically, a couple just normal things, like, you know, simple stuff, ground rules, and not that there even like needs to be any like definite ones, so to speak, but you know, just so there's no confusion when it comes to being a mod. This is referring to Mixer, guys. This is a more of a when I'm speaking and doing a lot of these talks and a lot of side segments, I'm generally speaking from a Mixer standpoint and a Mixer streamer standpoint, but usually almost everything I say can be generally brought to Twitch and whatever platforms are out there. But just so you know, sometimes if I talk about like an interactive board or something like that, that's because I generally am talking about Mixer because I am a Mixer streamer. By the way, mixer.com/JTForRealdo, what it do? But anyway, back to what I'm saying. Generally, I do a segment. This is like a mini segment, I'd like to call it. I do an entire show called Mixin' Up on Mixer, where we talk about streaming, streamers, and basically the streaming landscape in general. But today, I'm going to, it's kind of a Mixin' Bit, so to speak. I haven't figured out the perfect name for it yet, but like a Mixin' Bit. And it's going to be just a quick, I'm going to try to keep this within 10 minutes, maybe even less than that. Like 5 or whatever, and just talk about what mods generally need to do, should do, what to expect, and what not to expect, not to like overthink it either, not to overthink it. So a question about modding episodes. How much should a mod per week? Now that's easy. As much as you can, not meaning as much as you can, like as much as you can, you need more. Meaning like as much as you're comfortable with. Modding, unless unless you've worked something out with the streamer themselves where because there's probably kind of two different types of mods. You could be kind of a casual mod, which is probably 95% of all mods, and then there's the occasional professional mod, which goes with people that start pulling in a lot of money where they can actually afford to have additional employees like mods, and that's awesome. That situation's beyond amazing. But other than that specific situation, I would I would say whenever it's comfortable for you, because modding isn't like a lame job. You don't want it to be a lame job. You want it to be fun. It's supposed to be, being a mod for one thing is being a community leader. It's not like the guy or the girl that pushes the timeout button. That's definitely not what being a mod is. What being a mod is being a person where the community can go to ask a question. Somebody that's like any mod. When people come into the room, they should be like, "Oh, cool, such and such is here." You know what I mean? So and so mod. I'm glad they're here. I like seeing them. That's a mod. A mod is somebody that talks to the community just as much as they speak to the streamer. A mod is somebody that is active in the in Discord or any sort of social media. They kind of take a look and also on a side point, they can help with that stuff too. Like I would love if some of my mods helped with kind of putting some of our stuff, like put some of my clips, put some of our stuff out, things that we've all done together on YouTube, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, wherever. But whatever your preferred platform is, toss it all out there for your homie, for your fellow streamer. But I stress that's definitely not a mandatory thing. That's just, it depends on how much you want to support your buddy. You know what I mean? That's a big part of it. But when it comes to like the hard definite, it's just whenever you can. So it's really actually an easy question, even though I wanted to cover it exact, just because you don't want to ever think of it like it's a job, and you don't ever want to be like, oh, I got a mod. Never. Like, and I don't want anyone to ever think that. I mean, you can think what you want, but I never want anyone to ever think, oh, I got a mod tonight. No. I would hate anyone to think that and not to, you know what I mean? So, this background was supposed to move and do things. Let me see if I can fix that. Yep, got it. Sorry. I'm still fiddling around with this program. Good, it's working. Sorry about that. I wonder if how these are going to end up looking. Try a couple different things. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. That's the answer. And balancing modding and streaming, now that's a great question because that's specific for me and specific to other streamers. You'll get a different answer from different streamers. From my standpoint, I prefer my mods that are like if they're there more often, like my main mods, because some people are a little bit more casual and some people there more often. And I would prefer, this isn't a hard rule, but I prefer that my mods aren't full-time streamers, but only because, and the reason I say that, I would prefer to grow with a streaming network or a streaming type of like between two streamers, networking that way with like if my homie wants to go stream, I'd rather be like, okay, like a perfect example, just to quickly get through to that and go straight to something that's actually happened. Like my homie Grim, he's a great pal of mine. He's a good friend. I really like him. I have no problem with his modding. I think he did great. But I actually unmodded him recently because he's blowing up. He has thousands of people more than I do, and he's doing great, and that's awesome. That's why I'm excited for that. I think that's great. But I know there's no way he could put in the time that I would need when you have that much going on yourself, and that's awesome. But I like to just make sure people know the difference because some people are like, oh man, I kind of want to stream, but I know JT says like I'm not a huge fan of like my mods going too deep into streaming. But I really want to be specific with it because that's okay. I just kind of would rather, I'd rather have like a conversation about it actually. You know what I mean? Because I know some of my mods I think maybe even want to start streaming, and that's fine. We can even keep them on as mods. It just depends on what they have in mind. Because some people have different goals when they're going to stream. Some people are like, hey, I plan to do this full time. Now that's the person I can't have as a mod, and that's fine. That's great. I would rather, like I said, have a better relationship between them through streaming and through growing each other's respective channels. That's awesome. I would love that, but I think there'd be way too many head bumps with someone who's like someone goes off to go stream and you're like, oh shoot, I kind of needed you, and then they're like, well, I'm trying to do my stream, and then it just doesn't work at that point. So I feel like it's best to the person that's modding themselves, they should know, hey, I really want to do this next thing. I want to start streaming. I'm going to talk to the streamer I stream mod for, or JT or whoever else, and say, hey, what do you think, man? I want to do this. Now, like I said, I feel like it's so situational because there's some people I know that are my friends that I'm going to say, hey man, I don't think you can do it. Not that you can't. I just think your skills are elsewhere. And then there's others that I'd say, dude, I think that's a great idea. You know what I mean? So I think it's just so situational, and the best way to deal with that situation is just going, hey, one-on-one with the streamer that you mod for. What are you looking for, bud? What are you looking for, homeboy? What are you looking for, homegirl? Do you need me around? Or not even what do you need? This is what I can offer. Like, hey, I'm going to be around on Mondays. Is that I hope that can help you out. And I bet you a million times out of one, the streamer's going to be like, that's awesome. Thank you for that. And even if you say, hey, I can't be around for a while, they're still going to say thank you for the time. Unless they're a jerk, and then you don't want to mod for them anyway. But as long as somebody appreciates you, that's all that matters. And you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate everybody that helps me in any way. And I would hate to think anyone was like, oh man, I feel obligated or frustrated or bummed out because of modding and stuff. So that's why I like to keep everything cool. And I'm always transparent. If anyone does something I'm not a fan of, or I want to talk about it or get into it more, I put it right out there. You know what I mean? I put it right out there, and it becomes something right off the bat. But I think that's a pretty good thing to cover, just because it's relevant. It makes a lot of sense. You know what? I'm going to do something really quick while I'm right here with you guys. Shouldn't take more than a second. I'm going to toss up a text. Let's see. I'm going to put up a Mixin text just in case I end up using this in the future. Oops. That name's in use? Oh, well. I'm going to say Mixins then, right? With a Z. And we're going to do a funny font, guys. Here. This what I'm doing right now, right in between what I'm doing here, is I was setting up some scenes while I did this video. I wanted to talk to you guys, crack out this little bit of content that I wanted to get through, and then get to it. But I mean, at the same time as finishing up my Mixin, because as you guys know, on OBS I changed up all my stuff. I don't have all my old scenes. I don't have any of my old sources. I need to refresh everything, and I kind of was doing this kind of while I was talking right now, which is fine. That's totally fine. But Mixin, because Mixin It Up on Mixer is the full show name, and this isn't technically that. This is like a little bit of it. But I think I'm just going to shorten it to Mixin so I can put it up everywhere. And then when I explain it to people, I can say, hey, yeah, this show's Mixin Up on Mixer. But I feel like for now, Mixin is good enough. And I feel like dark green is going to be the color we need. But I'm going to show the homies later on. I'll probably, not tonight, but tomorrow night. I'll be hanging out with you guys, and we'll all talk about this. This is another thing. Oh, and I don't want to go too far off topic. For mods, this type of thing that I'm doing right now, this is a perfect thing that I go to my mods for help with these type of things. I'll go like, hey guys, what do you think of this? Does this look good? Like, I'm going to pick this color, right? I'm going to pick a lime right now. It's probably going to be too limey, and I would like to think my mod's going to be like, hey, I like where you're going here, but that's a little too limey. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's great when you have homies that you could that can look out for you in that regard, that will point you in the right direction, and not just kind of like what you don't need is a mod that's too negative or too positive. Because trust me, man, it's something you don't think about, but a yes man or woman for that matter, but a yes man or yes woman isn't helpful. You know what I mean? It really doesn't help. I'll put it in the hat because I kind of like that. We'll see how this looks. We're gonna ask everybody afterwards and see what they think. We're gonna put this in the mods, and then if the mods go, hey, I kind of dig that, we'll put it out there further and into the community and see what everybody thinks there. I think Mixin should probably still be behind me, so when my hand goes up, it's still behind my hand. To be perfectly honest, I kind of love that right there, even just that one right there. I might stick with that, but the moving thing right now is still kind of vibing. But anyway, don't want to get too far off topic. The mods, ground rules, and rights. Now, standardly, when it comes to like rights and stuff like that, whatever, just normal stuff is at play, just normal day-to-day, interaction between anybody. But what I mean, like special stuff, you kind of assume, you're going to get preferential treatment with things anyway. Like, it's kind of like, it's like you're already part of the club. It's like being a club leader. So most things are pretty standard. Now, when it comes to things like ground rules, my ground rules are just, if you're going to ban somebody that doesn't say something like totally out, like if someone's like, yo, F you, blah, 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 and does something threatening or like makes fun of Missy or you know what I mean, there's something like that, just time them out right off the bat, couple hours or whatever. But if you're wondering like, do I not want to be too harsh? Just time it out for 5 minutes and then take the moment to say, hey, JT, do you think that was too aligned? Most of the time you're going to be like, that's out of line. You're going to know right off the bat. You're going to know exactly what the deal is, what's too much, what's not too much. It's no big deal. You know what I mean? That's great. Like that's going to be easy. But if you don't know, like if you don't know for sure, do a 5-minute timeout, ask me what's up, and then go from there. But but your rights, like I said, like a rights as a mod is I have respect and complete faith in what my mods are going to do. I wouldn't mod a person unless I have faith in what they're going to do and their decisions. So I'm pretty sure if someone's going to time someone or ban, for that instance, it's going to be for good reason, and I've 99% of the time would probably back the play right off the bat. There's going to be mistakes. That's why I say 99%. But generally, the play is going to you back your homie's play, and it'll all work out. Man, some of these are looking really good. I'm going to have to go deeper into some of these. I'm really enjoying some of these. They look pretty good. They look pretty good, and they're usable. They're online usable, copyright wise. I'm excited about these. So I'm trying to think of some other things that I wanted to cover before that wasn't just questions, going through all the questions. Ground rules and rights. That was something that made sense. Let's say, something came up recently. One of my mods, noticed that there was a mod that seemed to be brought in a little too early. Now, he didn't realize it was someone that had actually had dealt with the unfollow glitch, and it wasn't around for a long time, and totally would have been there for that time, and would have put in the effort. And in the short time that she's back, has put in a lot of effort. So I thought, okay, cool, works out. And they weren't a mod until they came back. I modded them pretty quickly. So one of my homies was like, oh, that seems kind of weird, and then I had to explain it. But that's perfect example of how things can go. Sometimes some people just they fit it. That's funny. That's not real. It just fits it. It fits right. Like that you just know they're going to help you out. They really go along with your mindset. They're someone you want to work with. And then sometimes people put in the time, and you don't know right off the bat that you want to work with them, or that they're right for the job, or that they're great to be a community leader or mod. But they prove to you over time. So it's weird. So sometimes some people, it's not really just time. It's not just like, well, you hit your 100-hour mark, or you hit your 200-hour mark, or whatever, 1,000. It's not that, and then bam, you're a mod. That's really not what it is. What it is you've done so many things in whether like what they should do basically is be a part of the community, whether it's not just speaking to the streamer, but speaking to the community and fostering growth. But beyond that, there's the obvious of like letting people know the rules. If someone not in the scolding way, but like, hey, we have this cool new thing. Like I've noticed my mods haven't done that much lately, and I'll probably bring this up. Some of my stuff, like my extras and things, no, they don't really bring up, and so I have to, and that's fine. But I have a lot of things I have to bring up. I'm like, hey, I do these other side shows. If you want to support for free, hit Gawkbox. If you know what I mean, if you want to join the club, I'm going to be doing tournaments, and there's all these things, and yeah, I'm pretty good at talking to 100 people at the same time as I'm talking to people on the side while playing a video game, while strategizing, while also carrying on separate conversations with tons of different people, while also, like, I'm pretty good at doing all those things. But obviously I can't do them all, and there's going to be things I'm going to forget, and I'm going to be like, oh, shoot, I didn't say, hey, make sure you come by on Saturdays, because on Saturdays on mixer.com/JTForRealDough, the lovely, gorgeous, and beautiful Missy For Real Dough, my lovely lady, will be streaming with me now on Saturdays. Now, I said that a few times during my most recent stream, but I would have liked to have said it more, and my mods probably would have said it more if they knew. But but that's another thing too. Sometimes just shouting out, and communication is key. It's like any relationship with a best friend, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a husband, wife, or a mod. A relationship's a relationship, and communication's key. So keep on Discord, keep on whatever social media. Create a group so you can have a group for everybody, but then you should also have a side group just for your mods. Not only just so your mods can have something that's cool, you know what I mean, that you can kind of do your thing in, but also so you can kind of talk on the side and set plans up, like, and don't mod too many, and don't mod too little, because I've seen a lot of people out there, they got 40 mods. And I don't care if you got 1 million people, you don't need 40 mods. I mean, you might, but you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Now, what's strange about me, and it's weird because I feel like someone's going to be like, bro, I'm going to get up to 20 or something. They're going to be like, dude, what's with the low mod thing? And here's the thing with me and a lot of the graveyard shift streamers like myself. I was, like my last stream, I streamed for 10 hours. I streamed from 9. It started at, no, it was like 9.5, but it started at 9 at night. And it went all through the night to the early AM. Now, although that's great, and I loved it, and it worked out wonderful, not a lot of people, particularly near me, can do that, and that also means I'm hitting a lot of different time zones. So sometimes, depending on your schedule, and if you stream for extreme periods of time, because who the heck can take 10 hours other than the streamer? Not many. Not many people can decide, hey, I'm going to take 10 hours out of my day, other than the streamer themselves, and that's fine. No one ever would ever expect that, and if someone does expect that, they are a crazy person. So you know what I mean? Always remember that sometimes a streamer needs quite a few people to cover their bases because of the amount of time, So, but again, if there's a streamer that streams 3 times a week for 2 hours, that person should not need more than 3 or 4 mods. You know what I mean? As long as they're loyal, cool mods that actually show up. So so that covers the basic stuff. I'd like to actually cover this again with a list of specific mod related from my mods and maybe some other mods questions, like a nice set of questions, because I think this is going on 20 minutes now, which is way longer than I wanted. So what I'm going to do, and I jab it on a little bit, some other stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this now. We'll keep this as a nice thing to remind myself that we'll take some time, we'll take the hour or whatever, we'll take a little chat on Discord or on stream. I'll talk to my mods, or actually on Discord, because then people don't have to be live on that. That's another thing you remember too. Some people are busy and they have things to do. So sometimes they're busy for weeks, you know what I mean? Sometimes I tease guys and I forget, I hope they don't take it wrong. I'm like, hey man, I haven't seen you for a week. And they're like, oh man, I had school or whatever. I'm like, oh shoot, I hope they don't think I'm actually like, where were you? I'm totally just like teasing, having fun, So sometimes make sure with, your even your jokes and stuff that the communication is strong and that everything is understood completely, So anyway, this has been an episode of Mixin' Up on Mixer.com with Justin Taylor, a.k.a. JT For Real Dough, a.k.a. Mr. Battle Royale. I love you guys. I love each and every one of you out there. You guys are geniuses. You guys are beautiful, gorgeous beasts. And I'm happy to be a part of this online community. I feel like I found my home all my life. I feel like I've been waiting to be here. And it's wonderful. And I love it. And it makes me happy. So I hope this helps anybody out there, and I hope what you guys find makes you guys happy too. And you guys have a lovely night, lovely morning, lovely afternoon, lovely evening, or whatever, wherever you are, whenever you are, however you are. I hope all is well. And if this is on YouTube, Facebook, or wherever, particularly on Facebook, please, guys, if you hear this, hit that rate button, hit that follow, hit that like, hit it, baby, hit it. You know what I mean? Hit it all, because because it is, baby. Word, my friends. Much love, baby. Much love. And catch us next time. This is the first Mixin Bit that we've done. We're going to be doing a lot of these from now on. These are going to be going up all over the place on social media. So if you want to find out some new stuff, learn about what's going on in the world of JT For Real Dough, Justin Taylor, and the For Real Dough crew, and in the beginning of Team For Real Dough, come hang out with us at mixer.com/JT For Real Dough. And if you don't know For Real Dough, you better know For Real Dough. No, FAREELDOE. I'll see you guys later. This has been lovely. Catch me on Discord. My number is 1015. Later.